Bitcoin moved here to the upside exactly as I was expecting it. Unfortunately, the video yesterday came a little bit too late, but there is another opportunity to catch the next move on Bitcoin. And it is a little bit different than what you potentially think. I will show you exactly what I found. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, like this video, and also activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these important updates. And now let's get into it. First off, I want to start with the trading setup that I was talking yesterday about. I did not expect Bitcoin shooting up that crazy in one day. I was expecting that we get here potentially that push here that we got, and then start maybe a little bit consolidating because of the prior resistance up here. And then at some point tomorrow or after tomorrow, I would have expected that push to the upside, but Bitcoin decided, you know what? Let's start liquidating a lot of people and let's push higher and have our short squeeze. Now, Bitcoin went all the way up to $42,244 because there is also another resistance sitting. So if I draw a line here, then you can see that here also was or still is a little bit of resistance here from all these retests before we broke that level. And also here it was support, and also here when we broke it, we moved to $49,000. So hence why the Bitcoin price got rejected from there. But now it looks like that we potentially have finished that small correction, and Bitcoin is ready to either continue to go a little bit sideways before we continue higher, or to go already from here higher. And that gives you another opportunity to get in right and to take this trade with me together, because even I missed here this crazy move for my short-term trade. My long-term trade is doing well, but my short-term trade, I also missed the train like everybody else because it happened so quickly. When I take the long tool, and I'm going to show you, you're going to use here this prior low point here of that green wick as your stop loss, and we keep the same target of $43,400. So this will give you on this trade a 4% move and 0.78% of a stop loss. Now, if you trade with 25x, potentially you're looking at 100% in profit if this plays out as I expect. And if it would go against us, you are potentially losing with 25x leverage, like almost 17-18%, something like that. So, but this is absolutely fine. And I have to apologize to you guys. I tried out now to trade here on CoinW. You see, I actually opened a trade, but it did not copy trade. I don't know why. So after I finish this video, I'm gonna talk to my manager at CoinW to see what I did wrong, maybe watch a tutorial to see how it's working, if you want to set this up, because obviously something did not work as it should have. I don't know why, because here I can also not see how I can do copy trading here, like on BYBIT or on Phemex or something like that. And also when I go to copy trading, it does not open a specific page where I can execute a copy trade from. So here's something in the settings that I miss right now, but that is fine. But I wanted basically to show you with that trade that I'm in this trade here myself. Maybe it goes again in profit here. It was before the video slide in profit. But you see it's like minus 1.6%, it's almost nothing. So that's absolutely fine. Now, if you want to follow me with this trade, you can do this on BYBIT. There you still get $30,000 absolutely for free for signing up. But of course, you have to execute the trade on yourself. Also on BitGet, they have also now a debit card. I need actually to apply for it myself because I like to have all these crypto cards also here with the link below. And again, if you want to copy trade me after this video finally on CoinW without KYC and without a VPN, then use here this specific link. And otherwise, I'm still trading on FAIRDESK with the highest bonus in the industry, $120,000. Also there, you can copy trade me with that link below here. So now I wanted to show you guys something else that I have found today. First off, before I go to the other part, let's talk about liquidation levels. Remember how I told you guys yesterday that I believed that here were already a little bit too much shorts in this area and they needed to be liquidated, and that was exactly what happened here. yesterday, and now we still have some levels here above us, above that quite a lot here to clean. So I'm expecting over the next couple of weeks, potentially the next 10 days, at least to move back to like 45,700, 46,000 approximately for Bitcoin, just to deleverage all these short traders here with their liquidation levels before we are potentially turning around. And then, of course, this chart will be again more dense with long liquidations if we push here into these levels, turn around, take liquidity down here, and shoot back up. So now the big question is, what is everybody missing here? And that is something that I'm going to show you in a second. So definitely make sure that you're sticking around here. When I move to the liquidation heat map, and I put it back to the weekly chart for better confluence. Actually, I need even the 1 month one. Look here how much liquidity is up here to $48,000. Now you potentially understand why I believe that we're going to see a move like that, because we could still get a short squeeze to $42,400 all the way up to $43,000. And I think the short squeeze would stop around $44,500. So this short squeeze doesn't have to happen in one God candle. I just want to make this clear. It can, of course, happen if we get a crazy whale that is buying and keep bidding, that we're going to see a short liquidation cascade to the upside for us price-wise. But it doesn't have to happen. It can also happen slowly, basically a level by level. So don't expect a major God candle here. I'm also not banking on it. If we get it, nice. If not, then that's also fine. But overall, you see how much liquidity is stacked up here above the price, and that has to be taken out. And here underneath is not as much to liquidate. When we're looking at the order book, and this is now the interesting thing that many people are potentially missing here, I want to put this on the daily chart. So you see we have some bits here that were filled around $40,000. Now below us, that is the interesting part. We have below us orders from 39 to like 39,600. And also down here, there's still some orders at 38. But this is still not the interesting part that I found here. You see there are not a lot of sell orders above us right now, which is good. But I have found a tool that showed me even better what's actually going on here. And I have here a new tool. It's called Bookmap. It's not for free. You have to pay for it. And there you see actually the order book heat map live in real time. So you see here, I have to move on a little bit. So here actually where this dotted line is the price right now. So here this white line is where the price is. These bubbles are volume in the market. So you see here there was a big buy. So that was around, what was it? 41,750 was that big buy here. So, and of course this heat map looks super heated right now because that's where the price is trading in right now. You see there is some resistance at 41,800 and it stops at 41,850. And then there's nothing almost until 42. If I make it smaller, you're gonna understand why I believe, and that's what a lot of people are missing, this correction might be already over. We see here a lot of bids around $38,000, $38,500. There's also a lot. Then under that, $37,400 to $37,600 and $37,000. Even if we go to $37,000, I believe that would be the maximum correction that we will get before the halving for Bitcoin. I'm not saying that we're getting it because we have so many bits now under $40,000 that I believe every time if we dip under $40,000, it is a gift for us to buy under $40,000 and expect a swift move back up. So, and you also need to understand these orders can move up. It's possible that people canceling these orders and move them higher because they understand Bitcoin is not coming to their price. So they have to put their orders higher to get closer to it to potentially catch a limit order to get filled here. People that are screaming for $30,000, $20,000, I'm not convinced anymore that we are seeing this based on this heat map here, because here, even if I go lower, look here what kind of orders are stacked here. Now you see here, this is super red. So that is the hottest zone here. $38,000 is right now the line in the sand for us. If we are breaking it, there's directly $37,600. And yeah, I am not seeing at all that this will get broken anytime soon. The other interesting part is when we're looking to the upside, now you will understand why I'm saying we could go potentially to $45,000 and $44,000, because only there are the hottest areas for selling orders in the market right now. You see here's also a small one around 42,400 to 40,600. That is also in alignment with the charts, that there is some resistance. But once that level is broken, we could see another short liquidation move and short squeeze to $44,000 quite quickly happening, and afterwards to $45,000 if we are managing to break 44. So, and that is what a lot of people missing right now, because either they don't look at that or they're just, I don't know, maybe they are using just astrology to trade. I have no idea. So, but you see here, the order book is not lying. Where support and resistance is here on the macro time frame, and the range is here from $38,600 to $44,000 approximately. That is our big trading range. And you see also here at 41 is now coming in big orders here. So I think that just appeared. So somebody is bidding already now $41,000. Now you see what I was talking about, that some people that have big orders placed moving up their orders because they understand they will not get sub $40,000 potentially, so they move it up. So, and this is already a good sign to see something like that, and makes it even more likely that we are going here pretty soon back to $44,000 and $45,000. Now, when we go back to the charts, then we see we have finally broken here this downward sloping parallel channel that we had. And I really, really like this 4-hourly candle here, how it looks, with that big wick to the downside where a lot of bits got filled, so that we got here a nice wick. And now fighting with $41,770. Once that level is broken, I believe that we're going to see a retest of $42,243 and potentially move here into resistance close to $43,000. I also wanted to show you because the futures market is really funny. So we just closed that CME gap here last week. Now price action comes back into the same old gap and potentially creates the same gap on the way up if we are getting a push over the weekend. Because the Friday close was here at $42,300, and right now we are at 41, let's say 750. So this would be potentially the CME gap if CME opens tomorrow at the same price in the night that we are at right now. And that CME gap will then also, again, filled rather sooner than later with a push to the upside, and then most likely with continuation. And what did I tell you guys yesterday? Here is a potential inverse head and shoulders forming, not only on the CME chart, but also on the spot chart. When I go here, remember I pointed that out yesterday, that we are potentially in the making of a bigger inverse head and shoulders pattern here. And if we continue to trade as we do right now, then it looks like that we are getting it. Of course, we need more data for that. We need to develop a price action a little bit further to see this playing out, but it doesn't look all too bad that we're potentially getting this. The only thing that we need then, even if we have it, that we are breaking the downward sloping neckline of that inverse head and shoulders to get a confirmation that we're actually going higher. On the daily chart, we have put in another higher low with that wick here to the downside a couple of days ago, and at the same time a local lower low, because we were lower than this here. But on the macro structure, we are still putting in higher lows overall. So the macro structure has not changed and won't be changing unless we are breaking $37,400 approximately. And again, I'm not seeing this to be broken anytime soon here. When we're looking at the RSI is also again soon in bullish territory. We are at 48.2% right now with a potential uptick here. So which means we are getting again close to 50%. So this is for me quite bullish already. Not super bullish, you know, I want to be clear here. So, but it is kind of bullish to me already. So especially if we see here follow through. When we're going here to the daily chart, I expect a retest of the 50 moving average any day between today and Wednesday of around $42,700, $800. If we can reclaim the 50 and break above that, 44, 45, as I said, will come really, really quickly. You see here also the MACD is about to give us a buy signal and turn green, which means buyers are outweighing sellers. So which is also a really good sign that we are seeing here. And the stochastic RSI has also like 2-3 days left before we are here overbought again and need to see a small cool down on the stochastic RSI. So and that's basically it already for today's video, guys. I wanted to give you that quick update because the bits in the order book, they start now, and we saw it here live, they are starting slowly to go above $40,000 and making $40,000 the new floor. And that is basically invalidating what everybody else is saying right now. So you heard it here first, and so therefore make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, smash up the like button, also hit the notification bell, and I'm gonna see you then again tomorrow.